So the enterprise has to stay nimble and lean. They have to have really good economics at the foreground. Their profit margins are thin. And for them to increase productivity of their workers, they have to make them more accessible. Really, the only way to get there is to have a wireless enablement of their workers. Rapid change and increasing complexity on the devices, and particularly in the network, is something that we're living with. It's gaining speed. It obviously is becoming more complicated. The types of data that we're delivering, the types of data that are being demanded upon our network, the type of connections between machine to machine and machine to network are changing the paradigm of wireless networks. And so how do our businesses, how do small businesses or small enterprise users or mid-range organizations deal with it? We're going to have two different types of clouds. A public cloud that you can share across many domains, but a place that is in the cloud that's possibly closer to you, possibly even on our network, that gives you really private access to your data and really private sharing of your data. If you think about the Healthcare Act, or if you think about finance, if you have trusted entities to store your financial records or your healthcare records, I think you're going to want to have some assurances that it's only in one place and you are guaranteed it's not going to go anyplace else. Businesses in the next 3 or 4 years have a number of things to think about in terms of their investment strategy today. They will be talking to a wireless carrier. There's no doubt about that. They may not be talking as much to wired carriers, because wireless is becoming pervasive in everything we do, everything that is being built. All the chip manufacturers are doubling down on wireless technology. Even those that you wouldn't even think of are entering into this space. We're going to have a massive rush towards new appliances that are very inexpensive that work on our networks. So we all hear about this idea of presence. Are you available to do something? Are you on a computer? In the future, it's going to be more around state. Are you wireless? Are you available to take and answer a question? Is your device in a position to do that transaction? Presence is going to be moving to this issue of state. State is what is going to drive us to higher efficiencies. Right now, we're having a conversation. Someone probably doesn't know my state, but my handset is turned off. My state is do not connect. There's going to be 5 or 10 people trying to get a hold of me when I turn my device back on. That is the future of wireless communication. We just have to figure out a way to make it most economical for the user and most efficient in terms of how we do the back end to make those connections. Security really is a main topic. You see it almost every day in the paper. What you don't see, though, is the discussion around trust. And there is a difference between the two. Most networks are secure. Most businesses require security, otherwise they wouldn't be in business. But what we think is going to be an advanced state of the network is the concept of trust. Security is something that is done. It is an encryption. It is a VPN. But trust is something I know about you. And I do this in a mechanical fashion. Businesses are going to have a requirement that not only are they secured, but they have a sense of trust. The devices that they are having on their network that are doing mobile commerce, for instance, have to be trusted devices. We think that it'll be really important for all networks to have this sense of whoever is manipulating that mobile access terminal truly is the person that is supposed to have the device, and that issues a certificate of trust. The people who make the devices are going to have biometric capabilities as well. This is going to be a really positive step for businesses to be able to trust commerce on devices that either their customers have or at least their employees are using. The most exciting thing that I see really is this notion that in the future, the device becomes the cloud. If you think about it sounds weird, it sounds nonsensical, but the processing power of the devices is powerful today, but it is going to take a quantum shift. If you start thinking about dual quad processors or multi-quad processors, in 2020, we're anticipating possibly up to 64 processors on a handset. Well, today that's a supercomputer, but because of the processing power of the device, it can pull more of the energy from the cloud down to the user. You don't have to go to the cloud for that event. It's going to be prepositioned on your device. It can anticipate. It can look to you and look to your past. But I think that's going to be another quantum shift in 3 or 4 years about how that explodes. Today, it's not quite apparent, but that gets me quite excited about the future of where we see processing going.